and welcome to our new live Facebook series. This is episode 5, and we don't know if anyone is here just yet, so I'm gonna go wait about a minute or so to see who else is joining us. In the meantime, feel free to share this video with your best friends who think might appreciate the show.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, perfectly.
Oh my gosh,
Excellent.
I'm so excited to be here, Vildana.
Yes, Alexandra. Finally, we got connected. We had some difficulties, but
it's all
everything
perfect.
is figureoutable.
Yes, it's all perfect. And it's such a statement of being an entrepreneur. You just have to bootstrap,
Yes.
you have to be resourceful, you got to make it work, and you're going to make it happen. It's going to work, and it's perfect. It's always perfect.
Yes, great. Yes, everything is figureoutable. So, welcome again, and thank you for taking your time to be on the show and share your story with us. I'm going to introduce you a little bit and share your brief biography. So Alexandra's mission is to inspire, empower, and support anyone who wants to find out what's their mission, the mission to see in the world. She's the founder and CEO of Mission-Based Branding Institute, which is a communication agency and a training platform for mission-driven businesses and entrepreneurs. She's also founder and executive director of Latina Founders, which is a community of network of resources for Latina entrepreneurs and minority-owned businesses. She's involved in several nonprofit groups and is particularly passionate about supporting women through education and empowerment. She's a reformed banker turned missionpreneur. She's also a speaker and best-selling author. And she's truly a citizen of the world. So welcome, Alexandra.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Vildana. Excited to be here.
Yes. So thank you. Could you share with our audience what is mission-based branding all about? What is actually your mission?
Sure. Well, you did a great intro there. Thank you so much. So my mission is to inspire, empower, and support you to be the mission you wish to see in the world. And that didn't come about overnight, Vildana. It's been almost about 10 years, really, that for me to really clarify that. And so mission-based branding in and of itself, I mean, I am a testament to what I do as a business, because I help mission-driven businesses or people who are individuals who are mission-driven, who really want to make a dent in the universe, who either aren't clear about their mission or really need to help refine their brand and get their message out in the world. And it all started because about 10 years ago, I was in banking, as you mentioned. I'm a reformed banker now. And I really felt at one point, it was around 2008, maybe even a little bit before that something was missing and I wasn't on my path and I wasn't on following my purpose and my mission. And I started reading a lot. And that's where the concept of purpose and mission came about. And so fast forward, I started getting my master's in communications, and out of necessity, because I had already quit my job, I had already resigned from banking, I decided to launch my business, Mission-Based Branding Institute, to help other people like me and other businesses and brands to really get clear about their mission and help them share their message in a bigger way. And I worked with now hundreds of entrepreneurs, dozens of large brands, and it's all about getting their mission and their message out to the world.
So you're basically a branding expert.
Yes.
However, you focus on businesses that want to enhance their mission or to improve their mission, or how does it work? I know personally a lot of people that don't even know, they cannot define their mission.
Right.
So do you also help people define what their mission is?
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, as I mentioned, it's taken me several years. I had an idea and I started, but as you evolve, things change, new information becomes available, new areas of your life come into play. And I absolutely do help people clarify their mission. And then I take it a step further, helping them create a brand around their mission. And then a step further, and then helping them get their message out to the world. And really, depending on where the business or the brand is, I can help and step in along the way. So there are some people who have no idea. They're still working in a job, and they have no idea what their mission is. And I help them to really create that. And that could be a several-year process, right? You know, it's an evolution. And the other thing is, we talked about this, I know we've talked about this before, that sometimes what happens is that your mission becomes apparent, when your purpose becomes apparent, when you go through something, a challenge, a struggle in your life. And you think you're on one course, a pain. You think you're on one course, and you think that's what happened with me. I thought I was going up the track of becoming the CEO of a bank. You know, that was the track I was going on.
Yeah.
To having some other pain come into play, and it could be many different pains or challenges or struggles. And then all of a sudden you realize, no, that's not my mission. That's not my purpose. I really want to serve people in this other way. And usually it's exactly what you yourself need help with, or something you've overcome. Right. So for me, it was creating going from being a regular professional to becoming what I refer to as a missionpreneur, a mission-driven entrepreneur.
I love that word, missionpreneur. Love it. So basically, you kind of scratched your own itch, so to say. You were in a situation like many others. You know, you're working, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and then you realize something is lacking. And then a lot of people get depressed. They're not happy. Absolutely. So that's where you come in. Basically, you help your clients clarify, get clarity and focus. And I'm sure that it's not easy for everyone to kind of discover what their own mission is. So I think it's such a beautiful mission that your company has. And, we don't learn it at school. We don't have a course on, hey, what's my mission? How do I figure it out? What am I here to do?
Right. Vildana, they don't even teach us how to become entrepreneurs. That's new, right? The whole process of having your own mission, your own brand, your own business, that's not taught. Those are things that we have to learn. I've had to learn. I studied finance. I got my master's in communications, but in nowhere along that line was I taught how to use the finance for a business, use the stuff I was learning in the communications to start my own business. So that is kind of all in the mix. And so parallel to the branding strategy that I do help my clients with. And usually that's the lead, either the mission or the brand. That's usually my lead, where people need the most help. But on top of that, it's really helping people also to understand that their mission is really now we need to get it out to the world. And that requires having a business or having some type of organization or community that you create, like I did with Latina Founders, or having some other cause or movement that's really going to get their mission and their message out to the world. So I kind of help people wherever they're at in the process.
Beautiful, beautiful. That is really such a great mission. And also, you addressed briefly the Latina Founders.
Yes.
So could you share us the story behind that? I know it's about minority and for women. Who inspired you? What motivated you to start this movement? And how does it relate to the mission-based branding?
Sure. Well, so you and I have a commonality in that we've been involved with the United Nations in some capacity.
Yes.
I happen to be with the United Nations in Miami, and one of the Sustainable Development Goals is gender equality. And women's empowerment has been a big, big issue for me, primarily over the last few years, and mostly bridging the gaps of access, gap to funding, gaps of education. And so over the last year, as I've been working with a lot more entrepreneurs and coaching a lot more entrepreneurs, it became very apparent that Latinas, which I happen to be, and also there happen to be many in Miami, that there was a gap, a huge gap here. And so I wanted to create a community and a network, not only for Latinas, but also for women and minority businesses, so that we can help motivate, we can empower, educate, and support these minority-owned businesses, because there is definitely a gap. And I'm going to tell you a quick statistic because it's staggering. Out of the venture capital funding that goes out to entrepreneurs and startups in the country, in the United States, only 0.02% goes to Latina-owned businesses. So less than 1%.
Wow.
Latinos get 1%. Women get 5%. So out of the, and I've mentioned this to other people, not that there's anything wrong with these particular Ivy League schools, but 10% of venture capital goes to graduates of 6 universities, 6 specific universities. I'm not going to name them, but we kind of all know what they are.
We know who they are.
So more than double venture capital goes to graduates from these 6 schools than women, all of women-owned businesses. So this is something, there's definitely a gap here. And part of my mission with Latina Founders is to help make that gap smaller so that we can help level the playing field in business for minority-owned business. Black founders also, I mean, it's all less than 1%, So we're talking about less than 5% goes to these minority-owned businesses, and then 5% women in total. So there's definitely a gap there.
Inspiring. Yeah, thank you for sharing that story. That's really, really inspiring. And through my experience, anytime that I meet entrepreneurs or someone like, oh, I want to do something, I want to start a business, I always recommend either like you did with your mission-based branding institute, scratch your own itch, like something that you're dealing with, something that you're trying. So create something that you need, that you actually need. Create something that does not exist. So, and then with this Latina Founders, it is actually very sad that, women are not out there. They're not supporting each other, and that there is not enough organizations, especially for minorities or immigrants, myself immigrant. And this is amazing that you have an organization where you can go to and get guidance, get support, and meet like-minded individuals. Because when you know that someone else is out there that's struggling the same, that really gives you so much power. And I totally believe alone we can do a lot, but together when we share, because I believe we're all connected, we can do so much more. We can really impact the world, especially nowadays with access to internet. I mean, millions of people are connected to internet, and we can all start large-scale movements using the World Wide Web.
And we learn from each other. Just like you taught me about this. I've been doing Facebook Live since it started, but I had never used the split screen. So this is a tool that now I can use, right? So it's like the connection that we have in community, talking to each other. My idea is to have this some type of a mastermind, and of course a community aspect, so that women, Latinas, and minorities, we can really share resources. And also, it doesn't have to be just, it's about people who want to support those types of entrepreneurs as well. So we're not being exclusive.
Beautiful.
We just really want to help support. Yes.
Those that need support. Absolutely.
Correct. Yes.
So I see a lot of people are joining us now. Just a quick recap on who we are. So my name is Valdana. My guest today is Alexandra, and I'm the founder of Valdana's Choice. And we have a new live series here on Facebook. And this is essentially giving you a glimpse into the lives of founders with purpose and impact from all over the world. So I see I have my friend Aurora from, I think she's based in Amsterdam. Hello, Aurora. So glad that you joined us. And Anna, my dear sweet friend from Miami. And Medina and Adnan from Stockholm. So we have a very international audience. Thank you guys for joining us. And Alexandra, I wanted to ask you, what are the biggest challenges that you believe we face today in our society? And how is your organization or your organizations, how do they help overcoming those challenges?
Well, I mentioned to you that women and gender equality is a huge issue that I personally care about, and also in the world. So from what I've learned as far as statistics and all that, is that many countries don't even have any type of policy that helps women as far as education and as far as resources. Some women, I'm not going to say which countries, but in some countries, women can't drive, women can't apply for jobs, and other things like that. Just some basic things that we take for granted. We definitely take for granted these opportunities that we have.
Yes.
And so, the education piece and being able to be resourceful and have your own business, to me, as an entrepreneur is so important. I've been blessed. I have a master's degree, so I've been able to have education. Many women don't even go to high school around the world. And so for me,
Wow.
between mission-based branding that helps businesses create businesses and brands, and Latina Founders, which is a support group for minority-owned businesses, for me, it's that
Beautiful.
education, providing education, teaching people, giving advice, empowerment. So giving people motivation, allowing them to know
Beautiful.
what is available, what are the opportunities, what are the possibilities. You and I
Yes.
spoke about these women like having the Oprahs, but it's not just about the Oprahs.
Yes. Yeah.
We're role models ourselves. We're
Yep.
role models for possibilities and
Absolutely.
opportunities. And then lastly, the support. The support could be
Support
financing.
system.
Yes, I know Harrison is a friend of mine. He was talking about the
Yeah,
opportunity,
I see he's
venture
commenting.
being available. People like us, eventually with Latina Founders, one of the things I want to do is provide additional funding for those folks. And Harrison, you're welcome to be a venture capitalist at one time and support other entrepreneurs. We'll talk about that afterward. But yeah, so providing support, not just monetarily, but other types of support as well. And between all those things and women having those gaps, I think we can help to bridge those gaps. And I'm a very positive person. I understand there's only so much. I know we've talked about the victimization aspect. Yes, we can know the statistics, but we also want to help empower people to get out of that mindset of staying down, of being victims. We don't have to have a glass ceiling. And you and I, we talked
Yeah.
about this, that at least I don't
Yes.
believe
Yes.
in that.
Yes.
For
Well,
myself personally.
myself being an immigrant, I know that it's really tough, oh, hello, Aurora.
Hi.
Nice to see you here. Thank you for joining us. So hopefully we will have an interview with you and you can share your amazing product that you make, all natural oils. Yeah, she's really, really amazing, beautiful products that she's also a missionpreneur. And what I wanted to address is that in school, we don't learn any of these things. And then you've graduated school. Myself, I have not only one master's degree, I have two master's degrees. And for me, it was just school and you work for a company. But
Yes.
I'm convinced that each one of us has a unique mission in this world, whatever it is. And unfortunately, the society is not made for us that we discover this mission.
Right.
It's really tough to discover, but the answer is always within us. So we just
Yes.
have to kind of prototype, explore, go out there and try so many different things till we find out, oh, wow, this feels right. And then just work on that. It can be a hobby at the beginning, and then, eventually it can turn into a business, and
Yes.
you can change the world with your business. I'm convinced.
Yes, some of the people I've worked with, it could be something that they're really passionate about. They started with something they were very passionate about or a hobby. For me, I knew that there was something I wanted to work in the arts in some capacity because I was doing that as a side. While I was working in banking, all the rest of the time on my free time, I was volunteering at museums. I was going to arts events. I was just spent so much time helping creatives. And then one day I finally realized, why aren't I a creative? Why don't I have my own
Right.
business? Why aren't I an artist and having my own business? And so that kind of started a lot of what's my mission, what's my purpose, what's my calling, how do I want to serve the world?
Beautiful, beautiful. It's really, really inspiring. So for anyone else who's joining in, again, this is an episode we're talking about people, planet, profit, purpose, and passion. And today our guest is Alexandra, who's the founder of Mission-Based Branding and also the founder of Latina Founders. So how can we find out more about your organization, the Institute, and as well as the Latina Founders, and how can our audience get informed?
Yes. All right. So I'm sure you're going to put these links there, but the Mission-Based Branding Institute, the website is missionbasedbranding.com. And I am on Facebook and I'm on Twitter. And so I'm really easy to find there. Personally, I am
Perfect.
on a mission, Alex, on everything, on Facebook, on Twitter, on
Oh,
Instagram,
great.
on every platform basically that I can imagine. And then Latina Founders,
Wonderful.
which I don't have I'm actually in the process of creating the website because this was kind of like a
Hmm.
hobby, right? And now I'm like, let me really make this into more of a movement. And so I'm in the process
Hmm.
of finalizing the website, but I'm on all profiles,
Oh,
all social media as Latina Founders. And so you can find me through either
excellent.
of those.
Thank God we have social media. Isn't it
Yes.
amazing how we're all connected? I love
Yes.
it, love it. I
Yes.
mean, 10 years ago, this would be unimaginable. But so guys, I will provide in the show notes at the end links to her Facebook as well as all other social media platforms so you can easily get in touch. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask us right now live or at the end of the show. She's open to receive any questions you might
Yes,
have.
please.
And can you share us, so because you're so creative and I love it, you also wrote a book. You're a best-selling
Hmm.
author of Sculpt Your Life from Sketch to Masterpiece.
Yes.
So it is a practical and inspirational guide. Writing a book, it's a really big deal. I'm curious, and I'm sure our audience, same thing. How did you get started? Like, why did you write a book? What motivated you? Was there someone who inspired you?
Yes. Oh, beautiful question. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so I always sometimes forget. I'm also an author. I speak, I train, all those beautiful things. So with this particular book, I actually had started writing other books. I was in the process even before I resigned from my job, from my corporate job. And it almost happened out of necessity that I needed to figure
Again?
out. Right, exactly. It was like, yeah, exactly. And I had to figure out what I was going to do and how I was going to earn money. And so I had been writing these other books and I got inspired in the middle of the night. This was definitely divine inspiration. But when we're connected, when we're really listening and we're intuitive, we get these messages, we receive these messages. So I got the
Amazing.
title in the middle of the night, and I said, I have to do something with this. And so I didn't even finish the
Really?
other books that I was writing. I was in the process of writing a few different books. Never even finished those. I wrote this one in 3 weeks. I sat down and I wrote it in
Really?
three
And you
weeks. Now
never wrote a book before?
a full book, no, that was the first one that I had completed.
Incredible.
And then I ended up between the editing process and the whole putting it, getting it
Hmm.
designed and launching it took about 3 months total, but still really quick,
Hmm.
right? And so I know it can be done. I know it could
Impressive.
definitely be done. And I've actually coached others. Part of the sharing their mission and their message is also getting a book out, right? So I also do help. But for people who need help with that, I also do coach people on how to write their book. I have a very simple format that I
Amazing.
did. And so that's how that happened. But this particular one, I really wanted it to be this is going to sound crazy, but I think I was 30 when I wrote it. And it came to
Mm.
me, I said, I need to leave a legacy. What if I die? This is crazy because we're
Wow.
still young. And I think it came to me like I need to leave a legacy. So for me, that book was a legacy. If I die, if I die tomorrow, I have a
You
book
have
written and it's a
that.
legacy that I can leave. Now my mindset has changed because it's
Beautiful.
been several years. I haven't died, nothing's happened, right? So now I look at things differently. But really part of your mission and part of
Mm.
my mission when I see it is something that we can leave to others after we're no longer here.
Yes.
How can we continue? So it's not just how we can serve, but what can we leave others that
Mm.
when we're no longer
And
here, that will be part of generations to come.
absolutely. And what nothing better to leave but your own authentic voice, your own message. So if it's a book, if it's a documentary or a product or a service that you have, but to leave something that is your own voice and use your creative energy. I feel that most people, they don't even tune into their creative side. And
Yes.
again, as I said earlier, with the access to internet, we can be so creative and we can write a book. We can self-publish a book. We can, we don't even need a publisher today. So
Exactly.
it's much easier than it was for our parents. So I think there's no excuse nowadays to be creative and push content and create content. And I think we're all, there's no excuse not to do that. We all should be as creative as possible because that's who we truly are.
Absolutely. the resources are available. They're available, and
Yes.
many of them are free. Many of them we have on our laptops already,
Yes.
pre-existing, you know, or prefabbed in our laptops and in our phones nowadays
Yes.
too. So there really isn't
Yeah.
an excuse to really share your mission and your message in a bigger way.
Beautiful. Yes, I totally agree. So welcome to all the new viewers again. So my name is Valdana, and I have Alexandra as my guest today. We have a message from Aurora. She said, I was born and raised in Sardinia, one of the biggest islands of Italy. I lived since 1986 in Holland. From my youth, I have experienced many skin problems. Growing up, I developed I can't read the rest of the comment, but I think she's sharing the story why she came up with a skincare. She came up with a natural skincare product line, which is very, very impressive. And it's all natural based. She imports oils from Italy, I believe. So Aurora, thank you so much for sharing your stories. Yeah, and I would love to have you also on the show. And I'm sure the audience would love to learn more about your story and behind your skincare. Here we also have Claudia. Hello, Claudia. Great ideas, she's saying, coming from great heart-minded woman. Oh, beautiful.
And the story
Thank
of
you,
your
Claudia, for joining
friend
us.
just goes to show that that many people, especially missionpreneurs and heart-centered entrepreneurs and healers, create a business based on overcoming their own challenge, something. And then, like you said earlier, being resourceful and creating something because it didn't exist, or they know or they need to create something better, or that just doesn't,
Yes.
or that's just more applicable to maybe them or people that they want to serve.
Yeah. Yeah, and also totally believe, like, if there is something that I need that I'm lacking, you know, I'm like 6 feet tall, and I remember, okay, it was always difficult to find, you know, pants that are long, and I'm like, okay, you know, I can just post something on the internet, ask, hey, who are the fashion designers that focus on tall people? And there's always someone. So with the internet, you can always, there is nobody that has only problem. That's the only person with one unique problem. Like, there's always somebody out there who has the same challenges that we're facing. So, you know, that's also why we should not be afraid to go out there and create, so, you know, whether if it's a product or a service, because I'm sure there's someone else that is facing the same challenges.
Yes.
And tell us, please, what are some goals you would like to achieve in the near future with your company?